I'm so excited about being back here with all of you. And last night we had a wonderful meeting with some of the board and leadership team here at Unity of Manhattan. And some of the folks on the board were not there. Bob had a foot challenge, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see, you had a wedding? No, you had a wedding. And so we had a couple folks that were with us in spirit. And you're going to be hearing from them later on. This is not going to be your traditional Sunday where you get there and get to either endure or listen to everything I might say, because I don't have all, I don't have it all. But I do want to share a few things before we start. And I'm excited about our meeting last night and about where this community is. I mean, the energy and the sea of love, as it was mentioned last night, is really felt here. Can you not feel that? Do we have any folks here today that are new for the first time? I don't believe we do. So you've been here. So you know what Unity is all about. I wanted to quote what you see on the screen from Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, that the real search for all people is for God. Sometimes we forget that. They may think they are looking for other things, but they must eventually admit that it is God they seek. So in relationship, for example, to the visioning and the future of Unity of Manhattan, and do you ever find yourself in a place of thinking, oh, we just really got to grow, or we got to do this or that, or we got to change the color and get a pink room, or we got to, no, or we got to get a minister or a spiritual leader. And some of that, of course, needs to be honored and respected. All of it needs to be honored and respected. But ultimately, if we remember what we're really seeking is awareness of God's presence. And furthermore, awareness of who we are at any given moment as a spiritual being having a human experience. And so if we do that, then each one will open up to a vision that they may have, a divine urge, off-the-wall thought, a beautiful idea of, well, this is where I think we are in this community, or I have an idea for this or for that. And so it has to do, I think, with paying attention to who we are no matter what is happening. And you know the ancient saying of chop wood, carry water. Yes, we have to go through this world and we have to take care of our bodies. We have to earn some funds to live the way that we wish to live. And we have to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we can do so with a very high level of consciousness. So one thing is like being here and now. And for example, remembering what this week is. And I want to offer a choice. This time of year is one of my favorite scriptures. When God said, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." I love that. When I got transferred to Dallas in 2006, I really loved. They had a big sign outside the church right on the corner of Greenville Avenue, and where a annual St. Patrick's Day parade was, and thousands of people would always be there. And so I don't remember where I got this, but we would always have it on the sign outside and get a lot of comments on it. And even one brother that probably was a fundamentalist said, "Well, what do you mean that's not in Scripture?" And he proceeded to try to, and I said, "Well, bless you, God would kiss you right now, wouldn't he?" Or she is what I said, and that really got their attention. So do you have any plans for St. Patrick's Day? Can you do whatever your plans may or may not be with the highest level of spiritual awareness, whether or not you believe in green beer, which I don't. I love Guinness, but I do not drink green beer. That's just a thing of mine. That's not going to spoil my day. Is it going to spoil your day? What are we going to do in St. Patrick's Day that might be different this year for you? And so anything you take away from today might be this scripture. You can convince yourself that it's there, and that you can find a way to know that God is kissing you now, embracing you now, because you are always one with her and him. Beyond your knowing, it's there. So we are defined by our values. And, we could spend a lot of time this morning getting into some definitions of what values are and so on. Everyone has a sense of what that is. We don't need to go there. What I do want to suggest for myself and for you is that as we are here in this world, for whatever reason we've chosen to be here, our ultimate journey is one of living our values, always being invited to live who we truly are. And our values are something that really do not change over time, or at least easily, and especially our core values. Who you are as a spiritual being is related to principle. And you know the 5 unity principles, and we're not going to do a test on those today, but you know the 5 unity principles. And you are a child of God. I can see it in you. I can feel it in you. That doesn't change. Some principles just don't change. They are. Now, you might say, remember before you discovered your awareness of God? That's different right now than it was, say, a month ago or several years ago. Certainly it was, because you keep evolving in awareness, and our awareness of God keeps evolving and changing. And so one of our core values may be, as an individual, I value my divinity. Or I love this about other people or myself. So we're not going to do a session today either on your core values, but we're going to take a look at what has been going on with Unity of Manhattan, and where does Unity of Manhattan see themselves right now, and where are they going. To do that, okay. Resume slideshow. Well, Cor, I will. The mission statement that you have is, I think, a reflection of what you believe ultimately to be true about Unity of Manhattan. Now, you can argue, well, is a mission statement the same as a core value? It ought to be in sync with a core value. This is what I see from your website. Is this correct as your mission statement? That's not. It is not. Okay. Well, it's on your website. I didn't see it.
It's close.
It is close. Okay, that's beautiful, because I was about to say that mission statements, are they set in stone and will never change over time? No. I'll bet at one time this was your mission statement or something like it. Right. And so what we're talking about is, even though our way of expressing who we are may change over time, the essence of who we are does not. For example, the essence of celebrating and being aware of the Christ within, with our divinity. And nowadays we don't always use Christ as an expression of the only way to express divinity. There's many ways of doing that. And we also can look at your vision. This is your vision statement. This is correct, I believe. Centered in divine love, we celebrate an unlimited, peaceful world for all. We celebrate a world that works for all, is the way Unity Worldwide Ministries says it. And that is very clearly an expression of what you believe that's not easily changed. If we believe in unity principles, we're not going to say, well, let's not celebrate the world out there. Let's just go and look at our own lives and just celebrate who we are here in this community. That's not who we are in Unity. We celebrate a world that works for all, because we are connected, we are one with everyone throughout the world. And it doesn't always work. We know about the statement of being. That doesn't change over time much either. The languaging does, but the actual words do not. There is one power and one presence, active in the universe. God the good, omnipotent, everywhere present. So here we have an awareness of some very important parts of a spiritual community. And when we lose track of some of these principles, we find ourselves treading water at best. Or we find ourselves feeling lost, feeling not part of the community. We feel separate in a sea of love. We feel that there's really no answer to the perceived challenges we have. And that's where we really want to get back to our core values. The 3 core values that you have now, and I say now, that we are spirit-led, that we are love, and that we are expansive. And so, one of the things that we discovered last night, that there are so many incredible ideas and so many possibilities for you as a spiritual community, that it is really wonderful. It's wonderful that people have aligned around these mission and vision and principles and core values, that you folks clearly have done some incredible work over the years that you've been in existence. And sometimes you might forget that. And I think it might be valuable to have someone like me from the outside come in and spend some time reflecting that, hey, do you see how magnificent you are? Have you noticed that you have done amazing work and that you have an incredible amount of love right here and right now? And that wherever you are, God is, because you are Spirit-led. You made that declaration. You're defined by being Spirit-led. You're defined by knowing and believing that you are love, and knowing that you are expansive. So, granted, you may feel in some ways that you are restricted. You could look at your bank account, your balance sheet, and say, well, it could be better for you individually as well, perhaps as the community here. Perhaps that's true. And are you going to pay attention to the, quote, negative interpretation of that, or back up and say, one way that I know how to live my life is to get out and to let my love, let my awareness of being Spirit-led and knowing that I have unlimited possibilities because I'm in the expansion mode as a child of God. And I move out into my life, in my personal life, in my relationships, in my life in the world. And so I've known of ministries like yours in the expansion program that are usually somewhere between 15 and 30 or 40 that spend so much time in angst. That, oh, woe is us. Look at this, look at that, look at that, look at that. And every now and then if someone suggests that, well, why do you come here? Did we come here to be concerned and into worrying? You know, the old concept of Worrywart? Or do we come here to be Spirit-led, to be expansive, to be love? And it's not to be love, it's to recognize who we are, as the Course in Miracles would invite us to remove the barriers we put in to awareness of our divinity, of our love, of others. The awareness of, there's so much out there, and it's our choice to open our hearts and minds and eyes wide open to what is possible, to pay attention. And all it takes sometimes is for the folks that are willing to be centered in why did they come here in the first place? And what's going on with them right now? And in this here and now moment, since this is all there is, the past is gone, there's nothing, the future's not even born yet. Right here and right now, consistently, is where we have the growth opportunities, where we can change our minds, where we can open to what is, and then step out in faith. It's the classic 1 foot in heaven, 1 on earth. So last night, we talked about, we opened after we had some wonderful Italian food from Hy-Vee's. It's good. We opened with, tell me a story about how you got to Unity in the first place and Unity of Manhattan. And then, because we had a couple of folks not with us last night, I always come to visioning sessions with an idea in my mind of what we might do and willingness to let it go. Most of the time, to let it go, it doesn't have to be what I think we need. And so we sort of went where Spirit led us last night. And I'm going to ask Suzanne to come up. Because last night, come on. And she's so excited about being here, are you not? We see who you are. We had a wonderful, wonderful time last night, and I want you to sort of share what's on your heart right now before going into anything that we had talked about.
Can I do it without that?
Well, I want you to be on the camera, though, on TV.
Well, can I be on?
That's your call. Sure. You want me to hold it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can talk loud.
You can talk loud.
You're talking about the backpacks?
Yeah.
So I had an idea because my passion for this community, for who we are as Unity of Manhattan, is to do stuff in our bigger community that is meaningful for other people. And I had seen this video about people making backpacks. They live in a big city, and rather than when they pass homeless people and they just hand them a little money, or they turn their face away, or you know those moments in a big city and you see those folks who are in so much need of help. So instead of giving them a little something or turning their heads, they just started building these backpacks and having backpacks in their cars and handing folks backpacks filled with needful things. I don't know, maybe it's not the right thing for our church, but it just occurred to me that we could be like the backpack church. That's something, it doesn't cost a lot of money to buy a backpack at a thrift store and put toothpaste and toothbrushes and peanut butter crackers and, just put needful things in. There are folks living in Manhattan that aren't necessarily sitting on the street corner, but they're homeless in someone's couch. Or, the schools send home backpacks with children, actually, because there are kids who they won't eat on the weekend if the school doesn't send home food with them. There are many, many needful folks in Manhattan, and I thought that if our church is doing our tithing in a concrete, specific, tangible, meaningful way right here in the community, we don't have to wait until we get our name out there. We don't have to wait until we have 50 or 70 or 100 people in our church. We don't have to wait for anything. We can just start tomorrow, today, really. We could just do it. And then I think people would know who we are anyway, because we would be doing something real. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah. Got that? Beautiful. Don't go. So, before you go anywhere, what stands out from what you just said? A few words or a phrase, what stands out? Enthusiasm. What else? Doing something. Just do it. Remember that from Nike? Just do it. What else?
And love, actually.
Love.
Making that love visible.
Passion.
Today.
Today. Yes. Now, so let's capture that. Now, I know you won't take this too personally in the sense that this is not about Suzanne. What she just said had nothing to do with her. Got that? And it does. Got that? You see the distinction? And does it have anything to do with the example of like a backpack? And how many of you are thinking, well, I don't know about a backpack. And if we too much we're thinking about it, we get into and some of the energy and some of the truth in this may dribble away, right? Last night we talked about paralysis by analysis and the idea of a little bit of planning is always necessary. A lot of planning sometimes is not. Passion, love, remembering that you are spirit-led, that you are expansive, that you are love. Core values. That's what you're doing. Thank you. You're wonderful. Now, Suzanne, you did survive that. Last night you were wondering. It's so good. So we're not here, I don't believe, I'll speak for the team, leadership team last night that was there, that we're not here to promote any one thing, but my suggestion was we want to capture the essence of that we are defined by our values. And so whatever you do here, you're defined by. And we're also defined by our values are always showing up wherever we might be. Now, Donna, remember last night you were reading one of the slides that you thought was really useful? Do you want to come up and share with us what that's about? Do I have it here? I do not. Well, you have it in your heart. I do know that.
I do.
We were talking about creative culturals.
Cultural creatives.
Cultural creatives, CCs. And we were talking about how most people in Unity are, what was the word one of us mentioned, where it's kind of like hippies, free spirits, not locked in. And so there was a list that we were reading of what the vision for most cultural creatives are, and they all followed right along with exactly what we have been talking about for years since Mark and I have been here with Unity. These values of being spirit-led and being love and being expansive. And I was excited when I read it because it was just like, yeah, that's what we've been talking about. And how do you relate to those people? And how do we get the word out to those people? And what else?
That's good, yes.
So, and I don't remember what all of them were, but they all followed along with our core values, and it was wonderful to read that. It was like, yeah, that's what we are. That's who we are. And let's share that, and let's expand that into the community. And whether we do it with backpacks or whether we do it with, giving to the breadbasket, or whether we do it by having study groups, or however we do it, or just be here every Sunday, it's all good.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Donna. And the rest, Rochelle and Thomas and Mark, do you want to come up and add anything? Do you have anything you'd like that's on your heart right now that you'd want to add to what we're talking about from last night? Is it? Okay. And some of you probably know that, most of you know that Thomas is the treasurer.
Treasurer, yeah.
Your treasurer.
Well, I'd just like to say that one of the things that Steve said that I kind of related to is that everything here is perfect, and that we don't have to worry about anything, and that, the way I see it is all we need to do is enjoy what we have. And I'd see this room filled with people, or filled with souls anyway, and then eventually there'll be, every seat will be filled, but right now I just see it all as filled with souls. There are a lot of souls here.
That's true, yes. And some of the souls are visible and some are not. Feel that? Yeah. Okay, so I see that we're close to ending time, but one of the things that I'd like to do is to put this mic back where it's supposed to be. Get the feedback out of the way. Say a couple more things about who we are. Unity is a pathway to peace, prosperity, personal transformation. And one thing that I can say as a representative of Unity Worldwide Ministries is that the Unity movement, as expressed through ministries in the field or churches like yours, we are continuing to evolve in awareness of who we've come here to be, in awareness of our reason for being as an organization. And there's good in that. There's all kinds of wonderful, exciting possibilities. And the song that you sang this morning, I love, Embrace It. Is there anything in our lives, individually and in this spiritual community, that we're not willing to embrace? And you can say, well, yeah, I'm not going to embrace this. This behavior of someone else is abhorrent. Are you embracing the behavior, or you're embracing their core identity, which is love, as a child of God? So are we willing to choose again? Are we willing to know that we are here to make a difference in the world? And as we come together in unity, in love, through God, all hell breaks loose. Heard that one before? Isn't that good? We want to break free of the hell in our lives, then we say, through God, all hell breaks loose. So we know that there is no absence of love, of abundance, of health, of wisdom, of joy, because we believe in love. We affirm that we are spirit-led. We know that as a spiritual being, we are expansive and we have unlimited possibilities right here and right now. But of course, you know that. God bless you.